Hello and welcome back to SIt Down Sagas, our little one-on-one interview series here on the Checkfortraps channel. Today I'm joined by Maya and we're going to hang out and talk about their journey through the world of Magic the Gathering. So without further delay, let's jump into it.
Hi, I'm Maya. I'm the face of Maya the Gathering. I guess I kind of consider myself a Magic the Gathering content creator, but it's mostly more for fun, just for I don't know, I get a laugh out of it. So, but I play Magic the Gathering as a hobby.
Awesome.
Um,
Yeah, and you make really cool videos and like little
Thank
skits and
you.
stuff on Instagram, which are very fun. And you have recently, like just to shout it out, recently hit that 10k milestone, which you have
Yeah.
now like heavily surpassed very quickly.
Yeah, which is very mind-blowing to me. I never expected that to happen. I always cringe at myself, like after I make a video, I'm always like, oh, but then I'm like, I don't know, I like to laugh at myself and I like people laughing at me in a humorous way. So that's very exciting and I don't know, I'm kind of proud of myself for that, and I'm glad people enjoy it and maybe don't find it as cringy.
I don't know. There's always space for a little bit of cringe in any
Yeah,
form of
yeah.
like comedy and content. But yeah, like I remember watching, like seeing your little post about like hitting 10k, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. And I like clicked onto your profile from it. I was like, you're already at like 11 and a half, and like it's gone up since then.
Yeah,
It's like, wow,
yeah, it's gone up.
so quick.
I think I'm getting close to 15,000 now, which is
Wow,
crazy. Yeah,
amazing. Well, congratulations. You know,
thank
well done.
you,
It's
and thank you everyone for who support me and stuff. Like it's really nice, and I'm very thankful for everyone.
yes. And we are here. We're here on SIt Down Sagas, my little interview show. And you know, considering you've hit this milestone, and blown it out of the water, it's, you know, why not utilize this little platform to kind of tell people a little bit more about yourself and your journey in
Yeah,
Magic the Gathering. So I'm going to kick off and ask you some questions. Magic the Gathering is a card game that we play. We have this in
yeah.
common. How long have you been playing Magic, would you say?
Okay, so I collected as a kid back in like 2008 to 2010
Okay.
or 11 with my brothers. I don't think we actually played the game right though, I'm gonna be honest. And then I got back into it 2 years ago, 2 or 3. I was just at my local game store. I got really obsessed with this board game called Ascension, which is a deck building board game. And I think it's actually created by a Magic the Gathering player. I forget the actual name of the person, but so I was really obsessed with that. And the game store owner was like, hey, maybe you should look at getting back into Magic since you're really liking this card game. Like, and then it kind of jumped into that. At first I was like, maybe just a deck here or there. And then I think like within 2 weeks, I just like spent a whole paycheck on Magic and jumped into that hole.
Nice.
But yeah.
Very nice. So you've been playing for like 2 to 3 years, but you've been collecting.
Yeah.
But you started collecting way back when.
Yeah.
So here's the big question. Thinking back to then when you started collecting, do you remember your first like interaction with Magic? Like your first first thing that like you remember of seeing of it?
Yeah, so my brother actually came home from his friend's house with Magic the Gathering cards, and I remember him lying them all out on the carpet, and we were just playing on the ground, and he was kind of teaching me how to play. And that's my very first memory of it. And then my mother, though, however, she didn't like the game. I remember also, like, I think within the first interaction of us playing it and stuff, she was like, this is not allowed in my house. But yeah.
Amazing. I wonder why. Was it? I mean, no. It was. If you say in 2008, it wasn't during the Satanic Panic stage. It was kind of a bit later than that,
No.
wasn't it?
Um, I grew up in a really religious home, and nothing against religion. But my mom just seen a lot of like trading card games, particularly like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. We weren't really allowed any of that, but she did for a while. We were allowed to play Magic for a while. And then once we stopped, like we had to stop because she was like, okay, no more of this in my house.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yes, your first touches when you were younger, and then you started playing a couple of years ago. Do you remember? Do you remember what set was out when you first started? Like, got back into it, and started playing.
I think it was either Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, or it was what's the I'm trying to think of the name.
Crimson Vow.
Crimson Vow is one of those.
Okay. See.
Yeah.
Now this is interesting because this is episode 2 of SIt Down Sagas, and on episode 1 we had Anna Margaret on, amazing creator, YouTuber, and everything. And Anna Margaret got into Magic during Crimson Vow.
Okay.
You got in around
really
Crimson
good
Vow.
set. Yeah.
I got into it around Crimson Vow.
That's crazy.
To be a theme going here.
I think like Innistrad sets, like for me personally, are always my favorite, and I got drawn in because of the art. Like I love vampires. Anything vampires, I've seen it, I've watched it, I have it. I love it. So that's kind of what initially got me into it. I remember like when I first was choosing, when I was like looking, I was like, ooh, what booster pack do I want to buy? And I was just like, okay, give me something with vampires.
I mean, yeah, Innistrad is like, as a plane in the lore and everything, is I love Innistrad. Like my favorite set. Yeah. My favorite set that I've collected. I went and like spent some time trying to collect the full set. Is Eldritch Moon. So
that's
Innistrad with Eldrazi and like Eldritch Abominations and stuff, because I'm a big kind of like Eldritch Horror Cthulhu sort of fan.
Yeah.
So that whole set was just like all my vibe.
That's awesome.
It's got some good vampires in it. Good vampires.
It does, well. Yeah.
But yeah, Innistrad's I was gonna say a fun place, but it's really not.
Yeah.
But yeah, Crimson Vow was a cool set though. I mean, it's when I got into playing Magic was Crimson Vow. I was collecting a little bit before then, and I'd collected like a couple of years before then. I bought like a core set, a couple of fat packs, but then they just went on a shelf. And then it was like Crimson Vow, I got back into it. Yeah, interesting that Crimson Vow seems to be a key set for a lot of people. So I wonder where the correlation is there. Or is it just vampires?
Maybe. Or maybe, I don't know. Yeah, the vampires and the art is what drew me in. I think it's still one of the sets I've bought the most of. Like, I bought a lot of bundle boxes and booster boxes of that set. But
awesome. Okay, so you started a couple of years ago. We're saying 2 to 3, and we're now 2 to 3 years in. You're like nearly 15,000 followers on Instagram. People following, liking, interacting with your Magic content on there. You kind of, you're part of the community. You're well ingrained in it now, and one of the sphere, I don't know what the collective term for a Magic the Gathering player is, but I'm sure there's one out there. One of the people. Like, so during that time, in your time, in the greater community, kind of, how have you found your experience, like, being within this community?
Really good. Like, I've learned so much from just playing with other people and learning new play styles. Like, when I first started playing, especially the format Commander, I didn't know the concept quite. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I'm like, I don't Google things. Like, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll take what you told me and like kind of digest it. And I remember playing, and I didn't realize that like, oh, all the colors in the deck have to be like what the commander has. So I made like a jank commander deck that just was like whatever thrown in. And then by playing with new people, like I learned, okay, that's wrong. But then I also learned about all these other formats, and like I've just found it being such a welcoming place where people are like so ready to like help you and share their tips and ideas about the game, and it's been very welcoming, and I love that.
When you first started playing, what format did you start playing with?
I think just standard, like
Standard.
regular 60 card.
Mm.
I built a few decks at the time. I no longer play standard, but I am trying to get back into it. Like currently I just play commander now, but I'm definitely wanting to branch out into the other formats.
Mm. Yeah, I mostly play commander. The only place I play standard is on like arena. But I have, because I love the 60 card 1v1 format
Yeah,
and stuff, but it's like playing standard, playing modern, it's like I can't keep up with the set releases to have a
that's
deck that
fair.
maintains that rule. So I
Yeah.
just play like have a vintage deck, because vintage is it vintage or is it legacy? I always get the two confused. Legacy deck. I have a legacy deck. I don't have a vintage
Okay.
deck because I do not own Power 9. If only.
Fair.
But I do run a legacy deck because it's cards of all sets. So that's quite a fun format to play if
Okay,
you wanted to get back into like the standard format.
Yeah.
But run anything. That's cool. I have a nice little mono black deck that I'll
Oh, nice.
send you the deck list for after.
Heck yeah.
It's cool. But yeah, I mean, Commander seems to be the format that is the place to be at the minute.
Yeah, yeah. I play like my play group plays pretty casual, and I don't know, I love it. A lot of times we do a lot of like table talk and banter, and it's just really enjoyable. It's a great way to like spend a casual evening and just have a fun time.
Definitely. What do you like most? Like we're fans of Magic the Gathering. We're players. We're collectors. Like, what is your biggest passion within the game and the community? You know, what do you like most about Magic? As in the game, the community side of it, the collecting side. You know, which area is your favorite part? You have to pick one.
I think my favorite part would just be honestly the cards itself, like the art. Like I love collecting them. Even like just commons, or like I look at some cards that I don't ever play and I'm always like, these are so beautiful. And I think that's like my main, like that's what drew me into the game. That's what kind of like keeps me, like every time a set release, I'm like, oh my God, the art, it's so beautiful. And that's kind of what has the hold on me. But I definitely also really enjoy the community and how welcoming it is. This is like the first community kind of space in my life where I felt so welcomed, and where people are just like, yeah, very welcoming and nice and like ready to like help out and kind of like teach you different mechanics or like the formats and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying that.
Before, because I'm going to ask you about your favorite cards and your favorite colorways and commanders and stuff, but I don't know, what is your favorite card border style?
Oh, I think I don't know. There's a lot that are really nice. I do really like that old style. The like I'm trying to think the year. I think the early 2001. It's like the
Well, it's more like more rectangular.
Yeah, the more rectangular one. I really like that one. Especially like the old bordered lands. Those are so nice. I tried collecting a bunch to get my decks to have that style, because I like all my lands in a deck to be all matching.
Yes, I'm definitely
like at least the basic lands, but yeah.
I'm very much the same. I do like I like the old border cards as well. There's nothing wrong with the new ones. Magic, don't cancel me. But the old borders, there's just something about them that's just so nice, and like all the foil cards as well. Are just the old foiling is just so much nicer. It's like when they did Ravnica Remastered and they redid the Shocklands and they did the retro border ones. I was like, oh,
those were so nice. I do also like some of the full art lands, like, and like full art cards. Like I don't know, there's something about those two that I'm like, oh, those are so pleasing.
Yeah. I think my favorite full art lands are probably the Japanese Kamigawa Neon Dynasty ones.
Oh, those were really nice. Yeah.
I really want like a full, like a minimum 20 of each, just so I have like all the bases prepped for my deck. It's like it's so expensive now.
Oh yeah,
for a basic
they're
land,
up there. I think
they're up there in price.
Yeah.
So one day I'll I'll save up a little bit and just be like, I'm going to spend all this money on basic lands.
I love that.
But it'll be worth it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the artwork for Magic, and I think the fact that they started doing. I mean, they've not started. They've been doing it for a while. The custom borders for each set. I'm excited to see what comes out for some of the newer ones. That are coming out this year as well. Like, is it Bloomburrow, the Animorphs one? That's just all woodland creatures.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh yeah, that comes out in Q3 this year.
Okay.
So it's a new plane, from what I remember reading. So don't quote me. It's like there's no humans. It's just all like anamorphic woodland creatures.
Yeah. That sounds really cool.
Yeah. So that's going to be a very cute set. But it's part of one of the new big story arcs that they're bringing out as well.
Okay.
So
that'll be really exciting
to see. And then there's the Western set that's coming out as well.
Yeah.
Thunder Junction or something. That I'm interested to see what they do for that. I imagine like Sullivan Door cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fun. But yeah. So speaking of cards, as we have been, if you were to pick 3 to be your top 3 cards, now this is a hard question for anyone. So I won't hold you to your answers. They can change. But in this moment, if you had 3 cards that you couldn't live without, what would they be?
Okay. My top 2, and it's mostly purely for the art, but also because I love them, would be Gisela the Broken Blade and then Bruna the Fading Light. Because they are just so beautiful, and then like when they meld together, that's really awesome. Like I've only ever had it meld a few times in games, because normally people see the one card's down and the other one's coming, they're like, counter it. That's not happening. But I think those would be my 2 favorite. I'm actually getting Gisela tattooed on me later this year, because she's definitely my favorite. But for my 3rd, that's kind of hard. I'm gonna go with Doubling Season, only because I was like so hyped on that card for so long, and I run it in like a lot of my decks. And especially in, what was it? I think the Ravnica, one of the Ravnica sets. That Doubling Season is like my favorite. The one with like the crystals and stuff. I think that's the prettiest art one that they came out with. But the one that came out, Wilds of Eldraine, was pretty nice with like the little goose. Those were cute. But
yeah, I can see it now. It's from the old Ravnica set.
Yeah,
it's a nice one.
Yeah,
again, old border.
Yeah,
cool artwork. You had it in foil as well. I think that would pop really well.
Oh yeah, I would love to get my hands on a copy. I have a proxy of it, just so I can have like a little. It sits somewhere on my shelf, but yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's a cool one. Interesting that your top 2 cards are from Eldritch Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Keep it strong for Eldritch Moon. Best set ever.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Interesting that are they mono white, those 2?
Yeah.
They're mono white. Doubling Season is green.
Green, yeah.
So I'm sensing a colorway here. Is this what we play a lot?
Typically, I'd say green, black, and white. So Abzan, I think is the right term. Yeah, I play a lot of, like, those are my main core 3 colors I'll build around.
Okay. Any particular reason?
Not really. I was really drawn to black for the longest time, just because like most of the vampires and stuff. But then True. I like playing green because I like all the counters, and I like making big beefy creatures to like stomp on people. And then I love life gain. Like, I don't know, like sometimes I struggle where I'll build a deck that has nothing to do with life gain, and I'm always like trying to sneak it in there, because it's just I can't live without it.
Nice. Okay? So you like green, you like big stompy creatures, you run Doubling Season. Does that mean you also run Creator Huff Behemoth? Are you one of those
I
people?
do. Yes. I have like 3 copies of it at this point now.
Nice. Do you have that one? Oh, what set did it come in? The mono white version, the cavalry one. Is it Moonlight
No,
Cavalry?
I might have that one because I think it did that come out in what was it?
Which set it was?
Was it Wilds of Eldraine or was it older?
No, yeah, I think it was.
Wilds
It
of
was
Eldraine?
Wilds, yeah.
Okay, I may have it. I'm terrible. I haven't sorted any of my cards yet, pretty much since that set. So they're all. I put all my rares and mythics in this little box, and I'm like, have binders. I'll just eventually get to it. I keep saying I will, but I just haven't done it yet.
Terrible. Most of my cards are organized to a degree, but that's literally like by color, and that's as far as I've got.
That's fair, yeah.
One day I'll go into it further. Yeah, it was Moonshaker Cavalry, and it was from Wilds of Eldraine.
Yeah.
Mono white.
I haven't played that card yet, but I do remember it being pretty good.
It's like Creator Huff. It's a 6/6 Spirit Knight with flying. When Moonshaker Cavalry enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain flying and get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control.
Yeah.
So that'd be
pretty good.
a horrendous deck if you played that and Creator Huff on the same turn.
Oh, I might have to build something around those two.
I apologize to anyone who plays with you. So we know your top cards. We know your favorite colors and color pairings. We know you play Commander, but out of all the decks you've built up until this point, who would you say your favorite commander is so far?
So far, I definitely say Lisa, Shroud of Dusk, just because she's my go-to deck, and I know even if I can't win with her, I have a really fun game with her. And I don't know, I don't know if it's because I play super casual. Like when I build my decks, I build them more not to win, but I build them more around like, ooh, I want these 2 cards to combo. I want to get a combo out of this card. So I build a lot of things just to have like triggers happen, whether or not they actually like are winning triggers or just like a little silly thing I'm doing that's kind of jank. But she's got like both, where I've won a few games with her. She can be really brutal if I get a good hand. But yeah, I'm really enjoying playing with her. I kind of have it based around like life drain and life gain. So I have the, what is it, Exquisite Bond or Exquisite Blood and
Bond.
And then I got that in there. I have a few other cards that can trigger with those.
Nice.
And then I really like playing I think it's Rock's Faith Mender, where if you gain life, you'll gain twice that much life. Nice. That really helps in that deck. Yeah, and I also just love Lisa because you don't have to pay the command tax with mana. You can pay it with life, and in a life gain deck, that's super easy to do.
Definitely. And then if you throw Bloodletter of Owl Cazelot, or however you pronounce it, in there as well, every time an opponent casts a spell and they lose the 2 life, they lose 4 instead.
Yeah.
So just drain everyone quicker.
Make them hate themselves.
It's great. It's fun. It's I like decks like I like building decks like that as well, like in the casual sense, where it's not always about winning the game. It's always just about having that weird little kind of mechanic you've seen and you've liked and you've worked into your deck and just seeing it pop off. Like that's enough to have
satisfying.
fun in the game. Yeah, definitely a fan of that. Okay, is there any other commanders apart from her that you've enjoyed in the past? Or
I really like. I have Elithrill, Blade of Elves. I haven't played her as much. She's kind of sitting on my shelf, but she was my first commander deck that did really well. Like where I was winning games and she was doing lots. And I just love her. She's probably my favorite elf out of the Magic the Gathering characters, like elf characters. I think she's pretty cool. Trying to think what I have running in her. I put what's that card? It came from, what's the set? The Baldur's Gate set, where it was one of its Sorry, I'm looking. I think it makes your commander base power and toughness 10/10. I forget the name completely, but it's like I don't know if it's an enchantment or if it's an artifact equipment. But I love having that out and putting it on her because then when I swing in, if I can hit the damage, I create a lot more elf tokens. So
Nice.
that's a really fun one to play.
Okay. We will look up that card post.
Yeah,
show,
I
and
forget
it
the
will
name.
and it will pop up on screen here. But yeah, that's cool. You're gonna have to let me have a look at that deck so I can see what that's about. Is there any commanders you've got planned? Is there any decks you're planning on building, or you're waiting on certain things to come out to build? Or
I'm still hold on. I actually have the card right here. I'm still building the Severa, Queen of the Golgari.
okay,
I want to build a deck around her. I've kind of got a few cards. It hasn't been completed. I don't like. I'll build a deck list beforehand, but it's usually like 150 cards or sometimes more, and then I'm terrible. I'll like buy all the cards and then sort through them. I can't make the cut beforehand.
okay.
And then I'm always like, well, if I don't use these cards, I can always sideboard them. They're there if I want to make changes, so at least I already have them. But yeah.
Just build a 200 card deck, buy it all. Yeah. Like, okay, here's my deck. Oh wait, I have enough. Here's the second deck. There we go. That's definitely an obsession.
Yeah, but I typically only build one commander. I'd say every 2 to 3 months, just because it does get expensive.
Yeah, it can.
But unless I have like all the cards already on hand. But I also have the problem where I'm lazy and I'm like, oh, I'm sure I have this card, but let's just buy it anyways. I don't want to look for it. That's a bad habit.
If you sorted your cards, then you would know where they are and what you had.
Yeah, I need to get on top of that.
One day, just not today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself.
Nice. I'm currently building 2 decks.
Okay.
I'm building a Rakdos Patron of Chaos deck from the new
nice.
Merge of Call of Mana one.
Yeah.
I like Rakdos. He's a cool dude. I tried to build a Rakdos deck a while ago, but I used Rakdos the Defiler version of him. And I was like, okay, here's cool. Like, okay, it's black and red. Boom, boom, boom. Threw a lot of creatures in and all that. Then I actually looked at the commander and it's like, oh yeah, when he attacks, you destroy half all non-demon permanents you have. So I've put tons of non-demons in this deck. I'm screwed. No. So I was like, okay, I'll just leave that deck on the side for now. And then the new ones come out and I was like, I like what he does. Let's like have a go redoing it. And then the next one I'm doing it's an interesting one. I've only told a couple of people about it, so we're leaking it early. I'm doing a Golgari deck. I don't know who my commander is going to be yet.
Okay.
Because I'm building it around a theme, and it's going to be pretty much all worms.
Ooh, okay.
I'm doing all worms deck. I saw Brian Kibler run a worms deck on Commander at Home, and it was fun. So I want to build a Golgari one so I can put Massacre Worm in there and stuff. Nice. But the reason I'm doing it is because the new Dune Part 2 is coming out next month. Dune is a great film. It's a great book. I'm also there's a great role-playing game called Dune Adventures in the Imperium that I'm the project manager for at work. So I'm building my Shilahood Dune deck is my theme.
I love that.
So it's going to be all worms and elves, and the elves are basically going to be my version of the Fremen in the deck. So I need like a cool elf commander that has some synergy that'll work with lots of big worms.
Heck yeah.
That's my plan.
That'll be really cool.
So I'm going to have it's going to be jank. It's going to be very jank because it's worms. It has to be.
But that's cool. I like that about Commander, where like building decks, they don't always have to be like some crazy, insane deck. They can be jank and they can be so much fun still.
But yes, you'll have to let me know what's in your Golgari deck because I might steal some of the bits from that. Because I've not run Golgari before, so it should be a cool one to play around with. But yeah, so I'm going to move on from this topic and move kind of looking to the future a bit now, because we're a few years into both our kind of lives within Magic, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot more planned. You know, the game isn't ending anytime soon. There's releases every other month, and that's going to be going forever. You know, there's not enough cards already. But with like your experience within the Magic the Gathering sphere and the community and in content creation and stuff, like, where do you see this path, this road in front of you going? Like, where do you see yourself going with Magic?
I definitely want to continue doing like the content creation, making the little silly videos and that. I have started dipping my toes into cosplay through this, and I kind of want to see where that goes. I'm sticking mostly to Magic the Gathering characters, but that's definitely hopefully something that might open up my path a little bit more. I do want to start going to some conventions. Though since I'm based in Canada, there's not a lot of Magic the Gathering events that are super big, or if they are on the other side of Canada, where hours away from me. But I'm going to one in Edmonton this March. It's a really popular Magic game store, and I think they have like all other TCGs as well, called Face to Face. They're doing a little tour, so I'm gonna go to that. That'll be like my first big event, and I'm super excited and nervous for that. My game store usually, because I'm from a really small town, so normally we have like 6 people at our Friday Night Magic. So, but I want to definitely start traveling, like either to the States or potentially abroad, to like go to some other like Magic conventions and just to like really be a part of the community. And I really want to like meet everyone.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, you'll have to see. 'Cause I mean, I don't know of many events in Canada. I have a few friends that live Toronto way. I don't know which side that is to you.
That is
East
Coast. I'm gonna say East Coast. I'm really bad at my directions, but yeah, and that is like I think good like driving 20 hours away from me.
Okay.
So
again, I live in England. I live in the UK, and it's like you can go from the top of the country to the south of the country in like 6 hours. Driving 20 hours, I could be somewhere in Eastern Europe.
Crazy.
Like
Canada's pretty big.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you should maybe. I wonder if there's any game stores that might do like a Commander's Fest, because Commander Fest tends to be like third party run. So
yeah, I need to look into that.
Yeah, it'd be cool. But also, going to the States and coming over to Europe to some conventions would be great.
It'd be super fun. Yeah.
And then you can dip your toe into the cosplay at conventions as well and have something there. I know you've got a few sheets of EVA foam.
Yeah. I ordered I think so originally 17 rolls, and they're like the measurements. I think one sheet is like a little bit over a meter. I'm not sure if that you're using metric over there, but and then I had to order a few more because I bought 17 sheets of one thickness, and then I realized later I was like, oh, I probably need some like thicker or thinner pieces. I bought more stuff. I've gone through maybe 3 sheets in total now, and I'm like getting close to finishing. So I have lots. So I'm like, okay, I'm set up. I need to keep doing this. Let's cosplay some other characters. But I will let you know. So I'm creating a cosplay outfit for my commander, Lethril, Blade of the Elves, just because she's my first really good commander, and I kind of want to like do a little pay tribute to her. So
does that mean we can see some little Instagram reels and some content in
yes,
as the character in the future?
Near future? Yeah.
Awesome.
You'll see me all painted blue. I'm looking forward to that. I just have the sewing parts left to do now, so hopefully that won't take too long.
And then when you go to that event, the face-to-face one, you could maybe, if it's a multi-day thing, you could go there and cosplay as well, couldn't you, and show it off?
It's a 1-day thing, but I actually am planning to dress in the cosplay.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Is there anything else like in the coming months in terms of in the Magic world that you're looking forward to? Any new sets coming out that you're interested in?
Pretty much everything. I haven't really looked too far ahead, but like anytime a new set comes out, I like to at least get one thing from each set just so I have a little bit of cards. Like whether that's typically I'll go with a bundle box just because it gives you a little bit, and I love collecting the die. Like I have a huge collection of Magic the Gathering dice now, and I love them. But yeah, I'm just excited for all of it. See what comes, and definitely excited if any more vampire creatures come out. I kind of have a little goal that I want to, at one point in my life, probably like way in the future, at least have like one copy of every vampire creature. I want to have like a special place for them.
Wow. Yeah, there's gonna be a few.
Yeah.
It's a good goal to have, though. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll check in a couple of years and be like, hey, how's the vampires getting on?
How's it going?
You'd be like, I've got 7.
Heck yeah.
But I built these 25 other decks to play with.
I should really build a vampire commander deck. I did at one point. I can't remember who. I took it apart immediately because it was so bad. But I definitely, that is one goal, to like make a really cool one, mostly based off art too, just because there's so many beautiful vampires.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised you don't already have a vampire commander deck. How much in this little conversation we've had, you've mentioned the word vampire.
Yeah, I did before, and I think I even made like a 60 card deck at one point, but I took those apart. I can't remember what for, but I took them apart at one point.
So it means you have the cards somewhere.
Yes, somewhere in my boxes.
Okay, that's the goal. That's the goal. So for those watching, and those who have access to Instagram and can pester people, we expect to see a vampire deck in the coming weeks. We've got cosplay reels coming out. There's a lot we're going to be watching out for.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of all the questions I have and have planned. So I'm going to say thank you very much for joining me on this little show and chatting about your life and experiences within Magic. Before we go and we say goodbye, can you just remind us and let us know where we can find you, how we can interact with you, and stuff? And
so it's just Maya the Gathering on. So far, I'm just on Instagram, TikTok, and Discord, and on Moxfield if you want to see my deck lists. It's just Maya the Gathering. And yeah, and thank you so much for having me. I had such a great time. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
No worries. Yes, so for those watching at home, thank you very much for hanging out with us while we had this little chat. Don't forget to check social media for new videos, like, subscribe, do all that YouTubey stuff that you're meant to do. Yeah, we'll catch you in the next video, and you may see some people on some games in the future when we play some Commander, and you never know, there may be a vampire deck. They probably won't. But who knows?
Potentially,
yeah. But yes, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks.